Hello, basketball fans. How are you doing? I'm Uygar Karaca, BasketNews collaborator and also a sport basketball commentator. We are here with Jamar Smith. I'm very glad to see you here, Jamar. New Bahçeşehir College player. He's obviously a decorated scorer in the European level. I mean, he was the EuroCup MVP last year, and he was in the EuroCup finals with UNICS Kazan. And he used to be a EuroCup winner as well with UNICS Malaga, and so many other stuff. He knows EuroLeague very well. He knows EuroCup very well. Many domestic leagues, French title. I don't know, on and on. How you doing, John?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Excited to be on. Thanks for having me.
Okay. You lived in many cities in Europe, like Czech Republic, France, Limoges, Israel, Bamberg, Malaga, Kazan. Now you're in Istanbul. How are the first impressions? What are your first impressions about Istanbul?
There's not too many cities like Istanbul, man. I really love it here. The life and the people, the culture, just everything is really good for me and my family. The people have been so embracing and warm to me and my family, including the staff and just the people in my building, the people all around. It's really a blessing to be here. I've always wanted to play here, but I've never had the opportunity. So when I got this opportunity, I had to take it.
Were there any other clubs that were interested in you in the previous years? Just gossiping a little bit.
Teams say they're interested, but unless there's a contract on the table, to me, it's not real. It's gossip, and who knows if it even was ever really interest there.
Okay, I get it. So obviously, I mentioned that we are here with one of the most prolific scorers of all time in European level. In EuroCup, he's on the second place on all-time scoring list. I mean, he made 593 attempts in three-pointers, and he made 264 of them. Yeah, I'm going deep in numbers. And he had 1% in success. I mean, this is something really, really special. And but I was thinking, Jamar, this year, you are going to play not in EuroLeague, not in EuroCup, but FIBA Europe Cup with Bahçeşehir. Mm-hmm. What made you choose Istanbul and Bahçeşehir and this competition? What is the ambition behind it?
Well, when I first signed, they were trying to see if they were going to be EuroCup or not, and they weren't completely sure if they were going to be. And I had already signed once it came out that they were FIBA EuroCup, but the cups to me has never been my ambition on, signing with the team. It's always been, what's the team ambitions? Who does the team have? And, how do I see myself there? And, from speaking to the coach, speaking, to the manager, it was clear, this team wanted to have, higher ambitions than they've had. More success than they've had in the past. And they told me some of the players they were thinking about signing. And I saw myself just fitting here like very well. And I've always wanted to be in Istanbul. For my family, it's a lot easier transition for my family, coming from America to Istanbul versus, America to Kazan, even with the travel. So, all of that played into part with me choosing Bahçeşehir. And I wanted to be a part of the success that I feel like we're going to have this season, with the team that we put together and our coaching staff. I feel like, we really can have something special.
UNICS, obviously, they're going to play in EuroLeague. And you have a team that has players from EuroLeague that, for instance, Benjamin Bentil came from Panathinaikos. Now you have Langston Hall at Bahçeşehir as your teammate. Olsavaş is obviously a very experienced player from domestic rotation. Berkay Can'dan came, Muhammed Baygül came. what is your expectations from this year's team? How did the preparations game go? What is going to be your role in this team?
The preparation games went very well. I feel like we've been challenged. We've been in different situations. You know, we've had games where we controlled the game the entire game. We've had games where we were in control, and then the opposing team made a run, and we had to, kind of fight it out towards the end. So I'm happy with the teams we played and the success that we've had in preseason. And I'm hoping that it carries over. I think that it will. And, I think my role will be the same as it was with, every team that I've been on. I'm known to be a shooter. So, I'll have the freedom to shoot shots and, take shots. And, my teammates, expect me to do that, So I think it'll be, the same role as I had last year. And, from speaking with Coach before I came here, he trusts me and has a lot of respect for me and vice versa. So, I just want to try and make sure that, I'm able to stay healthy and score the ball at a high clip like I always have.
UNICS Kazan and last year's finals. Do you feel a little bit heartbreak because your team was really good team, and that was not only for last year. The previous year you were also good, and then pandemic came, and then you managed to eliminate Virtus Bologna, one of the favorites of the competition, and came to the final. But then the surprise package, Monaco, came and managed to beat you.
I mean, it's sports, man. To me, it's the beauty of sports. When you win, everybody feels so happy and good, and when you lose, it's heartbreaking. Of course, it's heartbreaking, but we play a sport and live in a world where you have to have a short-term memory. You have to either A, have a short-term memory, or B, be able to use your losses and your tough lessons as fuel, to fuel you for the next season, fuel you for the next game, fuel you for the next day, whatever it may be. And I'm the type of person, it was a day or two of heartbreak. And then it was, after that second day, it was like, okay, I have to get better. I have to make my team better. And I looked inward and, watched the games and saw where I made my mistakes and, just trying to make sure if I get myself in that position again, I won't make those mistakes. So it was more of a lesson than it was heartbreaking.
Well, the rotation was very rich. Isaiah Cannon, obviously a great scorer. John Holland was there. Jordan Theodore was there. I'm talking about the guard rotation, but also in the big rotation, there was John Brown. Not to forget Okara White in the position 3. You talked about some mistakes. What would you make different? I mean, what mistakes were you thinking about? Can you go or remember any of the details?
I would be more conscious of my foul trouble because in both games I got 2 fouls in the first quarter. Just speaking on myself, and as a team, I would have focused more on executing and playing a little more patient. I think we were so excited to be there and had such high expectations of winning that we were in a rush offensively, and we let our offense dictate our defense. So it's been like the biggest lesson has been, for me, don't let your offense, dictate your defense, especially on the team level. You have some players that when they playing great offensively, they play great defensively, but to win, you're going to have spells on offense where you don't play good. You're going to have quarters where you don't play good. Offense gets you to the championship, but defense wins the championship. And that's why Monaco won. I mean, they played just way tougher, way more physical defense than us. They took us out of our sets. They did everything they were supposed to do defensively. They executed perfectly defensively.
You worked with Dimitris Priftis for a really long time. And utilized a very good offensive system as well as defensive toughness. What do you think about his chances in EuroLeague? Obviously, now he is a member of Panathinaikos team. He is the coach there. What is his chances there? And what do you think about him?
Man, I'm so excited for him, man. He's been one of my favorite coaches to play for, on and off the court. Just such a great guy. I was blessed to, be able to have him for 4 years as a coach in my career. I feel like, he really helped me with a lot of aspects of my game that I didn't have before coming there. And I'm excited about him playing EuroLeague. I think he's going to do very well. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year in EuroLeague. And, he has Okera White with him. And I think Rowe is going to do the same thing. I think he's going to wake everybody up to, how good he really is and what he's capable of doing on the EuroLeague level. And, hopefully they have a lot of success together this year.
Gossiping again, did he try to lure you into Panathinaikos as well in the beginning?
I mean, we talked, we talked about it and, but it didn't happen. At the time frame just didn't add up. He was still, undecided on whether he was going to return to UNICS or, try to pursue the job at Pana. And, when you're a player, you can't wait sometimes. Sometimes you have offers and sometimes things come up. And if you wait, you can pass up a better situation. You can pass up a good situation, for a worse one by waiting, or like, again, it could be just this imaginary interest that never comes into fruition and never happens. So I have always been the type of player and person. If there's a paper and a contract on the table that's real, that's what I'm looking at, and Bahçeşehir came with that, and that's why I'm here.
Of course, you played with clubs with huge fan base like Limoges, UNICS, always, of course, there's this pandemic period, but always with full spectators and with a lot of enthusiasm. But Bahçeşehir project is something different. It's a club that is developing, that has some different goals in the long run, maybe. What do you think about the fan base? Like, are you going to miss that aspect of the game?
I think the fans will come. I think year by year, and especially, with success, you build your fan base. Nothing really happens overnight, so I think we have the success that I believe and the club believes that we'll have this year, and I think we'll get more fans next year and so on. And, just us players, I think we have to do a better job and a good job of, advertising to our followers, about our club, about our games, to get more fans to come out. Fan support definitely helps you win games. I mean, there's teams and games where, we've been down and thought no way we're coming back. You make a couple crazy shots, the fans get into it, and now it's a game. But there's such great fans all over Turkey. I don't think that I'll have the problem of missing fans. And in my mind, when we're at away games and the fans get loud, I don't understand what they're saying anyway. So I just pretend that they're cheering for me. So I won't miss the fans.
All right. Talking about playing in front of fans, let's go back to 2016 and 17 year. And that was the EuroCup championship year for you with UNICA Malaga. That was a remarkable final series because I was in there in the broadcasting part of that, and I was stunned with the comeback. There was a series of, I think, 18-0 fourth quarter charge to come back from a double-digit deficit. I remember it very well. You had problems with big rotation. Alenomic was disqualified after an altercation, and Dejan Musli, the other center, he was injured. Your coach was Joan Plaza, and you were not in the rhythm, as far as I can remember. But something then changed, and then you managed to beat one of the most strongest teams in EuroCup. Are there any specific examples about that game, specific moments that you remember about that game and that championship?
Man, I can't. It's so many moments. Like, you know, me and Plaza had a good relationship and a kind of a strange relationship. He's a coach that kind of plays with you mentally. And, you know, if you don't have a strong mentality, you know, you can't handle it. But at the same time, you know, I remember I had shot a 3 in the game and I missed. And I came back down and I had the ball. And Coach Plaza said, "Why not?" Told me to shoot it again. I shot it again, hit it. And then after that, I felt like I was going to make everything. You know, he kind of gave me the confidence. At times, it felt like he took my confidence away sometimes, you know, because if you made a mistake or two, he doesn't have a long leash. If you make a mistake or two, you go come and sit for about 5-8 minutes, you know. But at the same time, you know, he gave me confidence at a crucial period because our whole team was kind of not in a rhythm during that series. And, you know, once he gave me confidence in the second game in Malaga, like after that, I felt good and I felt like our chances of winning were great.
Yeah, it was really one of the most unforgettable final series of EuroCup, I guess, because that was also the club's, Malaga's European Cup in almost 16 years. And I remember celebrations and you were very happy and all those stuff. Incredible. Your 3-point tendency, something that we talked about in the beginning. You take a lot of 3-pointers and you make a lot of them. And you are actually the EuroCup leader in that sense. Was that something that has been always there in your game? Or was that something that you developed according to the conditions that you encountered? We can go back to your Illinois games, Illinois times, or maybe was that something developed on the way in Europe?
I was always able to shoot, and you know, that was always the main part of how I attacked offensively was, you know, with the shot off the dribble or by catching and shooting. But when I went to college, that changed. We had, you know, one of the best players in the nation, D. Brown, and he played all the pick and rolls. He handled the ball the entire time. And our coach was pretty much like, if you can't score in 2 dribbles, give the ball to D. You know, that was pretty much our philosophy. So I kind of lost a little bit of my scoring off of the dribble. And then I had to find it once I got back to Europe. You know, once I left Illinois and I went to my Division II school, I kind of found my rhythm off the dribble back. And I've always liked shooting threes. You know, I've always felt comfortable shooting threes, far threes, off the dribble, catch and shoot. And I feel like it's a strength of mine. But I definitely worked on it a lot. You know, my dad would make me make 500 shots before school. I mean, from my sophomore year until my senior year. So it became a point where it was like, you know, he would always tell me in my workouts, you can't miss 2 in a row. You can't miss 2 in a row. And it got to a point where I really believed that. And that was like part of my psyche as a shooter. It was a good and bad thing, though, because sometimes if I missed 2 in a row, I was like, oh, my God, I'm having a terrible game now, you know, because I missed 2 in a row. And my teammates are like, bro, like, shoot the ball. You only missed 2 shots, you know. But, you know, all of that has changed. My psyche has changed, you know, since I've gotten a lot older and, you know, more experienced. But yeah, I love the 3-ball, man. Loved Ray Allen as a player growing up, you know, love Steph Curry, you know, all the players that I tend to, you know, really appreciate and really like to watch are 3-point shooters. So that's definitely my game.
Probably you have recognized the importance of three-pointer in European sphere as well. That's how I thought. I mean, I thought that he made a shift in his game to be able to synchronize with the European game. Is that true? Or
I think so, for sure.
I would like to ask you to pick one or two players as a center and also a fellow guard that you enjoyed to play with in all those years. I mean, you can think of Fran Vasquez, Stefan Markovic, John Brown, Leo Westerman.
Man, John Brown. I mean, big John Brown. I mean, it's I play with some great bigs, with decorated careers, but I've never played with anybody that can do what John Brown does in my life. He's the best defender that I have played with ever. I mean, he can guard point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. It doesn't matter. He doesn't get tired. If I ever was a coach, I would look for a guy like John Brown, 100%. In the guard, for the guards, I would say Errick McCollum. Okay. I really enjoy playing with E. I learned a lot from him. I mean, because there were things that I was good at and there were things that I wasn't good at. And E is very straight to the point, will always tell you the truth. So he told me the things that I needed to work on, told me things I need to get better at, learning how to manage the clock, learning how to manage games. A lot of that came from E. And, even off the court, he changed my life in ways like I could talk forever about Errick. I mean, that's probably will be one of my friends and until it's over with. I mean, we're close outside of just basketball. So I'm super blessed to have met him and played with him and have him in my life.
Lastly, I would like to ask you something about the playing level between EuroCup and EuroLeague, because obviously you experienced both. There's this trend, EuroCup teams, very good teams, they won EuroCup, they earn access to EuroLeague, then they lose their players and the next year they struggle. Do you think it is something that needs to be remedied by maybe a touch of EuroLeague? And also the playing levels. Do you think that the playing levels between EuroLeague and EuroCup getting closer or getting much further?
Man, it's hard to say. But, EuroLeague teams, their core has been together, for a while. EuroLeague teams are good at that, getting a team and having success and adding pieces that they're missing versus breaking up the entire team. But EuroLeague is just so much bigger than EuroCup. I mean, the players from point guard to center are just, if you looked at the average height, I would assume the players from point guard to center are just bigger. And that makes it, I think that makes them much better than EuroCup. And I think it goes, it goes down, like you look at the NBA, I think the NBA has size and athleticism over EuroLeague, and EuroLeague has size over EuroCup. EuroCup has athleticism over, the cups that are under. And I think it just, kind of keeps going down. But I think a lot of teams that win EuroCup to go and play EuroLeague, they get very ambitious. Now we're EuroLeague, now we have to stay EuroLeague, and they break up what got them there, but I think that's also part of our job, and part of their job. Their job is, if they feel like, certain teams or certain mixes wouldn't play good together or wouldn't be good for EuroLeague, then it's their job, to try and go another way. But I don't think it's a coincidence that, a lot of the teams that win EuroCup coming to EuroLeague, they're normally at the bottom. They're normally bottom four of the league. It's just hard to play with all new guys playing against guys that have played together for 4 or 5 years and just added 1 or 2 players, at a time. It's just, hard to compete with that chemistry.
Jamar Smith, thank you very much for accepting our request. And I would like to wish you a very healthy and successful year with Bahçeşehir Koleji. And I hope everything goes well. I hope you like Istanbul even better because you are living, I think, around Beşiktaş, one of the most beautiful places in Istanbul as well. So thank you.
Yes, man. Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, man. Nice meeting.
Okay, basketball fans, we were here with Jamar Smith, former EuroCup champion and last year's EuroCup MVP and new Bahçeşehir Koleji player. Thanks to Jamar once again, and see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.